Not ready. Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop
Y'all
playing.
ain't ready.
Young Obama in the track and it's breaking my heart. I'm waiting on that call where they ripped him apart. Them hot wings make you fart when they fly through the dark. And them killers like sharks the way they float through the park. Deep in the dark, deep in the night. Young Obama was a scholar, so it's time to make it right. Hand me them black bandanas, them loud black pipes. 4 tickets on American, it's time to take a flight. Welcome to the 215, it's all live. And welcome to that PHI, it's all nice. Shorty got 4 on the bag, it's all fives. Like teeth, I'm in love with my man, that's all lies. Shout out to them youngins introduced so false casing. Scrambling for food in that Philly train station. That personal thing, youngin. Forgot the shell cases. Competition heard the track. They all free basing. We really love the queens. Holding down the kings. Loading hot slings with multiple hot wings. Every ghetto scene hit his heart. Hit his spleen in the Chinese store. Pring, pring. I'm the lord of the wing. Hyena hot wings. Respect my kids and my queen. Hyena hot wings. My fam and my team. Hyena hot wings. My goals and my dreams. On the table with 5 trains, the seal's been cracked. They raping, they purging, they loading up them straps. Jamal know geometry, his brain on his lap. Endorse the final chapter, I know we'll be back. Welcome to the 215, it's all live. And welcome to that PHI, it's all nice. Shorty got 4 in the bag, it's all fives. Like teeth, I'm in love with my man, that's all lies. Bacardi wanna dance, she in love with a bag. Shoot a bloody rag with the triple black jack. Young and body count like that. Turn goons into talk wigs and mountain bikes. They call it shoot a drag, youngin. Jack the trap, youngin, just like him. Now's a meeting in the jungle. And Steve's in the den, they chose rag and queen. I could still hear him scream. I was stuffed for law. Shooters on they day. Welcome to the 215, it's all live. And welcome to that PHI, it's all nice. Shorty got 4 on the bag, it's all fives. Like teeth, I'm in love with my man, that's all lies. Shout out to them youngins introduced so false cases. Scrambling for food in that Philly train station. That personal thing, youngin. Forgot the shell cases. Competition heard the track. They all free basing.
Yeah. That's the intro. Billions, baby. It's the intro.
Welcome to the 215.
Yeah. Welcome to Billionaire Radio, episode number 39.
Woo.
Yeah, LLNEAR, Billionaire, because the billions are near. I'm your host, Big Arm, the lad with the pad. Over here is my co-star. You hate when I call him that, but he's a co-star, co-host. Lateef, Billions in the building. We here to rock y'all world. We are the infamous Troll Brothers. We're going to say the things that you may not like. You're going to say something that you do like. I want everybody to know this show not for everybody. If you got a problem, just don't watch it, because we're going to say what we want to say. Remember that. I got to say that because people been saying a lot of things, and I had to put it out there. If you don't like what we talking about, this show not for you. We're going to take you on a plane ride. It's the infamous plane ride. We're going to take you there. It's going to be a little bumpy.
Yeah.
A little turbulence.
Yeah.
End of the day, it's going to be a smooth ride.
You're going to have your critics.
It's going to be a smooth landing.
You're going to have your critics.
It's going to be a smooth landing.
Smooth landing.
But those that love us, we thank y'all for loving us. If y'all new to the channel on YouTube, like, comment,
share,
subscribe.
All that.
Yeah, this the show that make you mad.
Make you cry.
Make you laugh.
Make you cry.
You don't know what we going to do. You know what we going to say.
It's
you know
coming.
What I mean? This is us. You got us.
Oh, it's boiling.
You know,
boiling point.
we got some topics for y'all today. But you know, first of all, we're gonna let y'all know today's show is sponsored by an outfit for you, a family of brands by Michael Keenan. If you want your business to be successful, make money, be productive, my guy Michael is the one. He's the guy. Why do I say that? A lot of you guys like to wear clothes. He built these fashion brands you guys like to wear, such as WESC, Hurley, Joseph Abboud, Steve Madden, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, and you know he did Sean John. You guys like watching TV? That's great, because as you're watching TV, keep in mind his company Wardrobe Style, 17 TV shows. It's a lot of shows, man. 17 TV shows. Some of these shows that you guys like to watch. NCIS, let's say, Chicago, Law and Order, Blue Bloods, Magnum PI, SWAT, This Is Us, and all those FBI shows. It's not a night you're not going to see his stuff when you're watching TV. When you're watching it, just know, hey, that's an outfit for you. It's Michael Keenan. When you're watching it, it's a lot of those shows. He has a team of executives, retail, fashion, entertainment, you name it, sports. They're making things happen. You know, they built my fashion brand. My fashion line is about to drop soon. Just hold on. Just hold on. It's coming. It's coming. You know, but he sticks to a plan. He follows through. It makes it happen. And outfitforyou.com. That's the website. Or just hit him directly at michael@outfitforyou.com.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, on that note.
We here for you, fam.
Oh, man, on that note, what's up? That's what we do. There's a lot going on. I got to talk my talk because the Eagles are in the playoffs. I don't care what nobody say. I didn't think we were going to go. We're in the playoffs.
Welcome on board, man.
So I had to get that out. You wasn't on board for that.
Welcome on board.
You wasn't on board.
No, you wasn't on board.
Matter of fact, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back
Tampa
to
Bay, New England, Tom Brady, cat. But anyway.
The entire world knows I'm a Tom Brady fan. I think Tom Brady knows that. He might have texted me and told me that.
I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have told him.
All right, what it is? I like winners.
I hear you.
That's cool. It happens. But I'm a Philly fan first.
That's right. I hear you.
I'm a Philly fan first, but I'm a realist. My team got into the playoffs. I hate we got to face off against Tampa Bay.
Right.
Because, you know, the refs going to call that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, and
definitely.
the ref, they get favors on Tom Brady. He's the golden child of the NFL.
Right.
So, unfortunately,
the privilege is definitely going to be on his side.
There's going to be a lot of pass interference against the Eagles this week.
Oh, man.
I don't have them winning the game anyway.
It should be an over and under for that.
Yeah, I don't have them winning the game anyway. So, it's you got them winning?
It should be an over. Oh, I got them winning. I ain't worried.
You got Eagles beating Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I got them winning.
What's your wager on that?
What you mean my wager? I'm taking the points. I get 9 of them. But I got them beating them outright. So I'm definitely going to put the money on the books.
All right, but so, you know, Kyle Rittenhouse is a snitch. I want everybody to know that. Kyle Rittenhouse is a snitch. Why is he a snitch? See, we talked about how he beat that case in Kenosha, right?
Right.
We're like, what is it that he did that helped them beat that case? Because we seen that the gun charge got thrown out.
How? I don't know. But
we seen the gun charge got thrown out.
Right.
And it says, you know what? It's self-defense.
And I ain't never seen nobody running away from you, and you shoot him in the back. How do you get that self-defense?
Nah, if you watch the footage, he was on his butt shooting from the ground.
So?
Come on, man. I don't care who you are. If you're on your butt shooting from the ground, you don't have leverage to win anything. That's definitely something. He's sitting down shooting like this.
Why did he have guns?
Because they had the guns to go up there.
What?
They had the guns to go up there.
That don't make sense. I said, why did he have guns? Why did he take guns to the place he was at?
Because they went. Everybody had guns. People he shot had guns. Everybody had guns. Yeah, they had guns. And they was doing a whole protest thing. So
he just got a bunch of guns, loaded them up, traveled to. That's not even his town or his city.
But listen, he's a snitch.
He had to travel to get
He's
there.
a snitch.
With guns.
He's a snitch.
Any lawyer should have won that case.
He's a snitch.
All right, let's tell about the rat. Tell me how he's a rat.
Kyle Rittenhouse is a rat.
All right, go ahead. Break that down.
He's a rat.
Break that down.
Right? Because, you know, somebody, whenever they got the charges on you,
right,
you're either going to take the charge or pass it off on somebody else.
Right.
This is why when you have a co-defendant, sometimes you got to have 2 different lawyers. Okay. It's a conflict of interest for us to he'll say, well, I can't defend both of you guys.
Right.
Because I got to put the blame on somebody else.
Right.
So right now, Dominique Black. Whatever you want to call him.
Black. We used to call him Mr. Black.
No, you don't know this guy. You been used to call him Mr. Black. You don't even know this guy.
Mr. Black.
This is the guy that got Kyle Rittenhouse the gun. He had to take a plea deal. He's on charges. He had to take charges for giving Kyle Rittenhouse the gun as a minor. Kyle Rittenhouse had to give him up. And And here's the thing: he was dating Kyle Rittenhouse's sister. So he probably did his sister. You know, what I mean, that was his girlfriend. So he probably did a favor.
So his punk behind didn't want to do no time.
He went to the store, got him a gun. They both went up there together. He went on the roof. Kyle Rittenhouse stayed on the bottom.
Okay.
And you know, whenever it happened, what happened,
right?
And everything happened,
right?
He had to snitch on him. The boy Dominic took the stand early.
Okay.
He the first one took the stand in trial. See, they didn't tell you this when this happened at the time. We just figured out how did Kyle Rittenhouse beat it. So now we know how he beat it. He gave up the boy that gave him the gun. He snitched on him.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He did him a favor, got him a gun.
Right.
They said from the hardware store, whatever store it was.
Right.
And he said they drove up there.
Right.
Together.
Okay.
So he wasn't just his mom. He drove up there together. That was the whole plan.
To purchase guns, to go to another city,
so
to shoot people.
I looked out for you and got you a gun.
Right.
At the end of the day, whatever happens, happens.
So what's the charges on Black?
You know what? Luckily, he's not going to jail. Fortunately, he's not going to jail.
Don't nobody go to jail in Wisconsin?
I think because he took the plea, they gave him a lighter sentence.
So nobody goes to jail in Wisconsin. I'm living in the wrong city.
I mean, he's definitely being charged for giving a minor a gun.
Oh man!
You know?
All shooters move to Wisconsin.
But I'm just like, yo, he a snitch. All this time we trying to figure out how he beat it. He had to give somebody up.
Cold rat.
So this tells everybody when you're doing dirt, and I don't condone doing dirt, but if you're doing dirt, you're doing anything. You know, expect it to go left. Don't expect it.
So all right. So the rat gave somebody up, right? They ain't getting no time. So basically, I'm trying to figure out is why was the law bothering them anyway if you just gonna give him a slap on the wrist?
Well, no, he took a plea. He took a plea during Kyle Rittenhouse trial. During the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, he's the first person that took the stand.
Man, these people funny. They making a farce out of this.
Well, if you take a plea, you get a deal. Rather than have to come, you know.
Yeah, but they making a farce. They making it a joke. Like, you know, they turning this into a circus, a media circus.
Why do you say it's a circus?
Because I mean, like I said, people should have went to jail. Somebody should have got charged with something, and now you got pleas and people walking and smiling and laughing like it's a joke.
Well, he pleaded to no contest to contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Okay.
Which is non-criminal citation.
So
it says non-criminal.
Rittenhouse was a soldier against Black Lives Matter.
Well, they went to the store. They broke it down. They went to defend the store, sports store. They went to broke it down. They went to defend the sports store. That was going on in the protest.
All right, so what sports store was they defending? I would love to know.
I mean, they didn't cut me a check. I'm not going to say that store. You know me. They ain't cut me a check, so I'm not saying it.
Woo!
But it was a store.
He was out there protecting the Jordans.
It was out there protecting the store.
Okay.
But
I'm a sneakerhead.
But what do you think about
I'm a sneakerhead. Y'all not getting these sneakers. Man, y'all better not run up in here. I'm going to kill 12 of y'all and I'm going to get away with it. Because I'm in Wisconsin.
I mean, now we understand how this whole thing happened, but what do you think about the snitching thing? Like, it makes you...
He a rat.
It's like, yeah, see?
He's a coward.
He gave his man up. He did him a favor.
He was in there fake crying because he was about to meet his cellmate.
I don't think he was fake crying.
And I put a big emphasis on mate.
I don't think he was fake crying, but I'm just saying.
He was about to meet his cellmate.
I don't think that.
And he was getting ready, crying like a little man.
I don't think that would have happened.
Yeah, it would have happened.
Nah,
he would have been washing somebody's drawers.
They'd isolate him.
They would have put lipstick on him. He would have been wearing booty shorts and sundresses. Right, but he got away. Yeah, he escaped that. He escaped that.
This is my point. It's the whole point. What do you think about people that do that? You do a favor for somebody, and it goes left, and they give you up just because they messed up.
People usually die for that.
I'm just saying.
Rats usually die for that. So he lucky.
You think
he lucky in a lot of ways.
So what do you think the boyfriend is going to do? You think they still speaking right now?
Nah. I don't think they still speaking. And you say he knocking off his sister too?
That's probably a whole situation.
He can't wait to catch him in the street. I hope he knuckle him up.
But I was shocked to see that, but I wasn't shocked. I was like, that's how he did it. Because we were sitting there saying, how the gun charge get thrown out?
Right.
See, what in Discovery we don't see what's happening until it happened. We just get the story of this side of the story. Right. We're like, well, how the gun charge get thrown out?
He a rat.
The gun charge got thrown out because they had to put it on somebody else.
Yeah.
But they had to keep the charge on somebody.
Yeah, I don't like the boy, man. I really don't like him at all.
I don't know him, so I don't know him.
Spend too much time talking about him.
I don't know him.
But
I was talking about Dominic, not him.
Okay.
You talked about him.
He's involved though.
But
they connected though.
But you talked about him. I was talking about Dominic.
Okay.
Poor Dominic.
Poor Dominic.
He did the young boy a favor and he got jammed.
He did him a favor.
How many times that happened?
Getting him guns.
So I'm telling all y'all, if the young guys on the street ask you to get them a gun, don't do it. I've been asked that before. I had young boys ask me to get them hammers, and I said, nah, I'm not going to do that for you.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't, because this right here told me I'd have been jammed up.
Oh, yeah, eventually.
I'd have been jammed up.
If it's you or them, you best believe. 9 out of 10, somebody going to pick theyself.
Right. So, you funny, man. 9 out of 10. 9
out of 10.
I just felt like that was terrible. We lost. I don't always talk about death on this show.
Right.
But we lost a legend in the black acting community of Sidney Poitier.
Ooh, Sidney gone?
Sidney is gone. And people don't understand his story. Those that don't follow acting, people that's in the acting industry right now who's African American, they really understand his story.
Right.
Because what he went through to become what he become.
Right.
Right. He grew up. Now he had Bohemian farmers was his parents.
Okay.
So he's from
Right.
And the thing about that was he was only got American citizenship because they were selling like tomatoes and fruits and things, and they would come to the U.S. and they'd come to Florida, and they would sell.
Okay.
She hadn't been pregnant.
Okay.
This guy happened to come early while he was in Florida, so they gave birth in Florida.
Okay.
So that made him a citizen.
Oh, okay.
That's how he became a citizen.
Sidney Poitier, definitely.
Was
the man.
He died at age 94.
Legend, definitely.
But this
definite
is the
legend.
But the thing they didn't know about what he had a learning disability.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nobody knew that.
Okay.
He had a learning disability. So they say he was tone deaf. He was tone deaf.
Okay.
So because he was tone deaf, he got when he first tried acting,
right,
they kicked him out. So you're no actor. He said he had an accent. He had an accent, and because he was from the islands, and so they kicked him out. He was tone deaf, and they kicked him out.
Right.
He had to spend 6 months of getting himself together.
Okay.
He worked doing dishwashing at this restaurant.
Okay.
There was a Jewish lady that sat down with him every day.
Right.
Helped him read.
Okay.
And helped him actually be able to, overcome.
Articulate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he could become what he become. Like his backstory is what makes it so important for him, because what he went through to become an actor. He's the first black actor to get the award.
What award? Oscar?
Bunch of them.
Oof.
Bunch of them. That's why when Denzel was saying, when Denzel got his Oscar,
right,
he was saying I was chasing behind Sidney all these years.
Well, he got some more catching up to do.
What I'm saying, but Sidney got his first Oscar, and he was doing the movies that were, racially biased, right?
Right.
Would made it culturally aware. Like he went through a lot of racism.
Of course. Back then?
Right.
Sheesh.
To be able to progress where he become.
Yeah.
He took a lot of controversial roles.
Right.
But the thing was, he was like the movie Drumline.
Right.
He didn't know how to read.
Wow.
So there's a movie right now that was out back in the day.
Right.
That he did, because he couldn't read the lines.
Right.
They had the guy singing for him, and they put that in a movie to make it look like Sidney was singing.
Oh, wow.
That's how deep that thing went.
Wow. Yeah, but he was one of the greats. And Sidney was definitely an icon. I need to check out some of his movies.
Yeah, Raising the Sun is what's the most popular one people talk about.
Right.
But he did other movies. Like The Heat of the Night. Like he did
Right. I never actually watched any of his movies. I ain't gonna be a perpetrator.
You probably did, but don't know it.
But I'm gonna check him out though.
You probably did, but don't know it.
I know who Sidney Poitier is, man.
It's impossible for you not to see a Sidney Poitier movie.
I'm not one of them people that if I'm watching a movie, if it don't hold me, I'm not gonna sit there and continue to watch it.
But what I'm telling you is, I'm not going through his whole list of filmography over here on the show.
Right.
But I'm telling you, I guaranteed you watch a Sidney Poitier movie.
Maybe.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You had to. There's no way you could not. He was all over it. He did everything. He was major.
Okay.
He was major. He got a lot of awards.
Okay.
You know, but he was the groundbreaking for black actors, pretty much.
Okay.
You know, to get he the one that kicked down the doors, kicked down the barriers, to open the doors for everybody else, because it was hard to be any color, you know, and be in the acting industry.
Major shout out to Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to him.
R.I.P. Cannon.
All day. You know, it's a whole lot of stuff on this guy, man. I mean, like I said, from 1944 on, like, he was that guy.
I was watching James Brown.
Right.
And part of the movie that caught me the most was when James Brown and Little Richard was sitting outside of Little Richard's place of work, and they was having a dialogue. And even though the dialogue was intriguing, for me to see Little Richard and James Brown as pups, you know, before they even blew up, the confidence that both of them had in their art, you could see, you know, Little Richard had his thing, you seen James Brown had his thing, and just the dialogue and just to see them two, man, you know, having that conversation, it blew my mind, man. It blew my mind because Little Richard had just got off stage, and he was and he was in this place where he was the thing, and James Brown said, you know, they wasn't even booked for the show. But when Little Richard left, he left the microphone, he left the piano. They just jumped up there and did their thing, and it caught Little Richard's ear, you know, James Brown's sound. So when it was over, Little Richard went back in, and he said, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Oh, we the Heat," or something like that. And he was like, "Nah, who are you?" And then them two ended up going to a place alone and having a conversation, and it was deep, man. It was real deep because Little Richard.
This is a movie or this is real life? This
is real life.
You watching the movie?
Watching the movie.
And what's the movie called?
Get On Up.
And it was about
James Brown.
James Brown documentary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Little Richard told James Brown how to get his records out.
Right.
You know, because, you know, James Brown, both of them was businessmen.
Right.
Very good businessmen. And I think he had like a 8th grade education or 7th grade education, but he had that math as far as music and how to sell it.
James Brown was a beast itself. You know, James Brown, he did a lot more. But the thing about James Brown, what people don't understand, that his band didn't get the credit that they should have got, because a lot of that go with the James Brown.
Right.
That's where a lot of the issues started happening with the, you know.
They only wanted James.
Right.
But
because you had that funky drummer beat that done by.
I think it was called The Flame.
It was done by
The Flames or something like that.
But the guy, I believe it's Rodney Stubblefield, or you know what I mean. He's the one that did the original funky drummer beat.
Right.
That's popular today in rap music that everybody's using.
Right.
But the funny thing is, he did it being sarcastic because he had an attitude with James Brown.
Right.
So he was like making this beat to be funny.
Right.
And they was like, "What's that? Do that again. What's that? Do that again." And it happened. So to this day, you see a lot of that, beats from Public Enemy, and a lot of people using that the same drum pattern.
Right.
Came from James Brown camp.
And that's the thing that caught me the most was both of them was liked by people of all walks of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And James Brown had to do a thing with the Christmas sweater, and the Caucasian kids around, and he was doing a song where he was like, in his mind, he was like, whoa, where he caught himself, and he said, we got to do this the funky way too. So he did it because funk was a serious thing back then. So he did it the Christmas sweater way, and he did it the funky way, with the girls in the short dresses and vibrating, doing their thing. And my thing is, they was both musical geniuses of they own right. And what really caught me was that they belonged to us. You know what I'm saying? That was my big thing. Like these two men,
but they weren't
they
the first
belong to us,
but
man.
see, when you mention that, you got to go back before James Brown. You got to go back before Little Richard, because that's the time of music. So when you say they belong to us,
right?
They were just one entity, but it was a lot of music that goes back way before them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, we could go way, way back.
But they sound, man. They sound like both of their sounds because they did it their way. You could never imitate neither one of them. You could never imitate their sound. And the dance and everything else, as far as, I don't know if Little Richard danced, but James Brown was almost like Michael Jackson before Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. Especially when it came to the dance.
I would never agree with that. But James Brown did do his thing on how he did his thing, but he definitely went on Michael Jackson level.
Man, you crazy.
Michael Jackson is like, it's his own word. Like, it's his own entity. It's his own...
You can't say Michael Jackson without mentioning Little Richard and James Brown first.
If that's how you feel.
James Brown, if you had to watch his footwork and how he did what he did, and he had a very unique voice. I'm talking a very unique voice. I was deep into that movie, man.
I'm not knocking the voice.
Into that movie.
What year did that movie come out?
This movie?
What you talking about?
Probably 17.
Okay, yeah.
Somewhere in there, but
right.
It was on Netflix. And I didn't mean to mention Netflix, but, because they're not cutting the check, but, I mean... I
think Netflix is one of those things that's like, we may be able to say a little bit sometimes.
Right. But, yeah, man, get on up. Man, it was amazing. To me, it was amazing. And like I said, that part where Little Richard and James Brown was at Little Richard's work place, and he asked him a question, man. This is the part that blew me in mind, because the way Little Richard broke it down, he's like, man, I ain't gonna be doing this forever, and I'm gonna be the biggest thing. They're gonna be saying my name.
This is the Little Richard James Brown show, y'all.
And then he said, but I know I'm gonna run into the devil. And he said to James Brown, when you meet the devil, what are you gonna say to him? And then James Brown looked Little Richard in the face, and he said, look me in my eyes. He said, tell me what you want. What you want to ask me? And you know what Little Richard asked him? What happened to you, man?
I just want to be done with Little Richard and James Brown.
He saw it in his face, man.
I want to get all this out.
Hold up. You sat here and had all that segment on Sydney and Rankin House and some dude named Black.
Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier,
and you don't want to have a conversation about
peace.
Little Richard and James Brown?
Rest in peace. So he just passed,
you
man.
Tripping, man.
He just passed.
You don't lost shit. I don't know what vibe you on.
I'm on a rest in peace to Sidney Poitier vibe. And that man had a disability we didn't know about.
Uh-huh.
And he conquered great and kicked down
I forgot.
doors.
You the lad with the pad, and you got all this stuff that you want to get out. So go ahead.
It has nothing to do with that.
Run it out.
I really don't care about...
Because, I was kind of bored in the beginning, but go ahead.
I'm going to bore you more. Before you get bored, I want you to like,
comment, subscribe, share.
And share. If y'all like what y'all hearing, whether he said it's bored or not, he had to talk, if y'all care about talking.
Get on up.
Was it James Brown 2017 movie? If y'all care about that, let us know. You want to hear more about the movie. James Brown,
Not
Little
the movie,
Richard.
the moment. I was speaking of a moment. I wasn't really talking about the movie.
But
I was just speaking of a moment between James Brown and Little Richard.
Go to the channel.
Two icons.
Right.
But okay, let's get it popping.
Like, comment, all that good stuff.
Share.
Yeah, definitely share.
Okay.
We appreciate y'all. I gotta talk about Antonio Brown, baby.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
That's
how you gonna not talk about Antonio Brown? I sent you the clip. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched the clip yet.
Of course you didn't, but you told me to send it to you.
I was working.
All right, but that's what I told. I said I'm not gonna send it to you. You ain't not gonna watch it.
I really ain't had time, man.
Well, listen.
I'll be working down to the wire.
For those that don't know, good old Antonio Brown again, right? What happened with the Bucks? He's not with the Bucks. He did an exclusive interview, and I told everybody, I said, "There's something wrong with that picture, because you're saying that he can't come off the field." And then the coach tried to say, well, I told him to get back on the field. He didn't want to go, so we told him to get out of here.
Wow.
But Antonio Brown says that's not really the picture.
Right.
He says, I told him about my injury.
Right.
And it was re-aggravating.
Right.
And I was in pain.
Right.
And I can't go back out there, Coach.
Right.
Coach said, I don't know about the injury. But, like
Wow.
I told you, during practice,
Wow.
he was light practicing because of the injury.
Right.
Well, come to find out, he said that they was lying on the MRI and the X-rays and kept clearing him to play.
That's huge.
And what happened, he went to a bigger doctor, top doctor, instead of going to the team doctor, because they were saying that he wasn't complying and going to the team doctors as he should.
Right.
And he was like, listen, something not right.
Right.
So he got the inside scoop. Somebody gave him an insider that go see another doctor. The X-rays, come to find out, good old Antonio Brown found that he had a ligament torn on the bone. He had bone fragments.
Right.
From the ankle. And so now they can't lie and say that they didn't know about this stuff, but they try to make it look it was mental health.
That's deception, man. That's deception in the worst way too.
But I even thought it was mental health. So that's why I feel bad. I called it mental health too.
Right.
Even all the sportscasters.
Right.
Everybody chases mental health.
Right.
But now, what do you think is going to happen with Bruce Arians lying on him and say he didn't know about the injury?
I mean, the Bruce Arians part, lying. The biggest thing to me is lying about his medical records.
Right.
Because that goes into all types of legal, documents and paper and like I said, it's deception. They lied to him. They lied to his face.
Right.
And about his body. Imagine going to a doctor and you got heart problem. They lied to you about your heart problem. Or you might have high blood pressure. They lied to you about that. Or you could be in danger of catching diabetes. You all right. Your sugar level is fine. And you just keep on drinking sodas and juices. That's what they did to him. They told him that, you okay, you fine, you could play. Get out there and help us win. Because that's their goal. That's what it's all about right now, is winning another Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you put winning before the player.
And he put all the receipts out, all the text messages out, showing everything that so that way they can't lie.
Right.
And it shows him having a conversation with the coach the day before.
He's already labeled the bad guy.
Yeah.
So everybody's going, no matter what he say, he's the bad guy. But I mean, it's funny that Brady, the ownership, and the coach, they the good guys, right?
Brady's always the good guy. Listen, Brady, I want to clear something up because
I beg to differ. But
okay. So in the interview, right? Antonio Brown says, "Why I gotta play for my money?" Right? He's on an earned contract. He has to do this many catches, do this many to get his money and send the bonuses. Right?
Right.
He made that whole thing.
Right.
Tom Brady shut it down because he stayed on the field the last game until Gronk got his bonus. So that means that Antonio Brown didn't know Gronk's contract.
Right.
See what I mean? Antonio Brown thought that him and Brady were separate, meaning that Gronk got his money and Antonio Brown didn't have to pay extra for his money. But Tom Brady showed otherwise. He stayed in the whole entire game until Gronk got his 85 yards. And it was like 85 yards and maybe like 7 catches, something like that, to get the rest of it, to get his his other million.
A lot of teams was doing that in the 18th week.
Right.
You see what Dallas did? They kept all them guys out there breaking records.
That's why I said Tom Brady's not a bad guy like people thought. And here's another thing, right? You can't compare Tom Brady to Gronk to Antonio Brown because Gronk didn't do the things that Antonio Brown and ruin his name to get back on the team. Tony Brown ran through 2 teams, got cut from 2 teams, and still Tom Brady worked his magic to bring you on. Gronk didn't have to go through that.
When Tampa Bay offense step on the field, minus Tom Brady, who's the best player on the field?
Gronk.
You tripping.
That's my opinion.
That's
my opinion.
Man. Don't say that out loud.
How was Gronk not the best person on the field?
AB is the best
I don't agree.
Player.
I don't agree.
On the field.
I believe AB was the best player when he's with the Steelers, but he's not. I don't put him before.
Oh, you don't watch football too much.
Oh, man, come on.
You don't know that much about football.
Listen, Antonio Brown is a great player.
He was the best player. He's the best. He might be the best player on the team, including the defense. That's how much of a weapon he is. Healthy.
I don't agree.
Antonio Brown ain't no joke, man. Don't sleep on him, bro. Don't sleep on him. They gonna miss him. You gonna see. You gonna see. You gonna see. Cause when you doing stuff right like that, you'll find out if you missed or not. When you leave, when you subtract yourself from the equation, that's when you find out if you was really needed or not.
Nah,
so we gonna find out.
I don't think. You gotta understand. He was the third receiver, right?
He was the slot.
He was, but he
No,
missed,
he wasn't the slot.
But he was out from
Bolden was the
he
slot.
was out
Uh-huh.
from week 6 to week 16,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Okay.
You could say 15 if you want to add that.
Because of the injury.
And he got suspended for the fake COVID.
True.
And remember, if that COVID vaccination card was federal, he'd be probably doing jail time or getting legal action.
All right. A weak schedule helped him out.
But he missed 3 games.
Like I said, a very weak schedule
Okay.
for a Super Bowl team
Okay.
helped Tampa Bay out.
Regardless of the fact, that means that they went on and they got used to playing without him.
Okay.
You
Against weak opponents.
Okay.
Okay. And he still had Evans, Gronk, and the other boy.
Say that again.
Evans
And
Gronk.
thank you.
And
That's all I want to hear.
And the slot receiver.
Right. You said who?
Bolden.
I'm just saying. So you're naming guys. That's what I said.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver, and he didn't even finish the whole season. Listen, man, them weapons, he had elite. Tom had elite weapons out there.
I don't take nothing
before
from,
AB even got there.
I don't take nothing from Antonio Brown, but what I'm saying is he's not bigger than the team. He's not bigger than the game. He's one of the pieces.
And winning shouldn't be bigger than the game either. You shouldn't put a player at risk just because you want to win. You could have ruined his career.
Listen,
And Tampa Bay organization and team still going to move on.
you got to keep in mind, Tom Brady played his whole career without top receivers.
You tripping.
When he first won a Super Bowl, his top receiver was Deion Branch, who was 5'10", and he was the tallest receiver.
And he had 1,500 yards receiving.
But who was Deion Branch? Nobody.
He
You don't even hear his
was
name no more.
somebody. He was a punt returner, and he was a wide receiver that you couldn't stick one-on-one. Deion Branch was special. He wasn't like
Branch,
no bum.
I didn't say he's a bum, but what I'm saying is
Amendola,
he
all
made-
them dudes was immaculate route
This
runners.
is why I like the
They was elite route runners. They like, yes, he did. He couldn't have won without them guys. And once, like I told you, he had Hernandez and Gronk on the field at the same time. Once upon a time with Randy Moss in the mix. Come on, stop.
All right, I'm glad you said Randy Moss. You know why?
Why?
They didn't win a Super Bowl that year.
That's their fault.
So let's talk about when they won the Super
That
Bowl.
ain't
Who they
Randy
had.
Moss' fault. That's their fault.
That's what I'm saying.
You know why? You know why they couldn't win? Because Brady is a statue, and when he faces a front four that could put pressure on him without blitzing, he gets all frantic and everything. The Giants beat him twice because Brady couldn't deal with the defense, and he couldn't deal with the defensive pressure. He broke down. He a statue. He ain't running nowhere.
So what you're
You
saying
know where
is,
to find him at. If he can't
So-
get rid of the football,
Okay. All right.
then he's useless.
So that's all quarterbacks, isn't it?
No,
If you can't get rid of the
because Lamar and them will kill you.
Oh, did Lamar make
The
the
kid
playoffs?
for the Cardinals will
wait a
kill
minute.
you.
Did Lamar make the playoffs?
Lamar didn't play for the last 8 games of the season. That's the reason they didn't make the playoffs.
It was bad calls. I'm a Lamar
You
Jackson
can rush
fan.
Lamar with 4 people if you want to. He gonna gas you for 50 with his feet. He ain't even got to throw the ball. Tom Brady, when it breaks down, that's it. It's over.
That's it?
Once it break down,
Right.
and he ain't get rid of the football, it's over.
So what you're saying is he has 7 Super Bowl rings, 10 Super Bowl appearances, so it must didn't break down too much, huh? All right, I'm
Because
just saying.
he had the greatest coaching staff on the planet, not to mention the GOAT
So was
at
it-
the coaching,
So
and
was-
to mention that Tom Brady, the first 3 was defense and special teams. That had nothing to do with Brady. Defense
So wait a
and
minute.
special
You
teams
don't like Brady,
and
right?
the running game.
You don't like Brady,
Ain't
right?
that I don't like him. It's just that
You're
I'm going to
always
tell you the
talking
truth.
against Brady.
I'm not a Brady fan.
That's what I just said. I just literally said
I
that.
I'm not worshing Tom Brady.
I just
It's a
literally
lot
said
of
that.
people that worship Tom Brady because they're in the image of themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of bragging going on, but people don't talk about Spygate,
You,
Deflategate,
you know, every time we do this show,
cheating.
if I bring up Tom Brady,
a lot of stuff that goes on in the game with him. You even said he got the referees in his pocket.
Always.
Because he's the golden boy.
He earned that.
You know why? Because he's in the mirror image of the owners.
He
looks like the owners. He's in the mirror image of the owners. I don't want to throw the white and black thing out there, but we know what it is.
Football's not white and black.
You crazy.
Football's not white and black.
Don't say that, man.
If you play in the locker, football is one of the sports that you come together from all nationalities in the locker room, and you guys can
nobody
be together.
caring what you talking about, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Who owns a football team of color?
So it doesn't matter.
Who owns a football? They won't even let a colored person in the room.
It doesn't matter.
You got a guy on the team right now, Leftwich, your team, Tampa Bay with Brady, that done been to the Super Bowl, proven himself, been an offensive coordinator for over 6 years, one of the best in the game, and here you got Gannon for the Eagles that got an offer for a head coach position, who been a defensive coordinator for not even a whole season. Not even a whole season. But he getting offers. Right. He getting offers for head coach already. Okay. What's wrong with Leftwich? Okay. It's a privileged league, man.
Let me ask you a question.
It's a privileged league.
Right, let me ask you a question.
What?
Who's the winningest coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now?
Tom Coughlin.
Pittsburgh Steelers, I said.
Tom Coughlin.
Steelers. Right now. Who broke the record? The Steelers.
Tom Coughlin.
Who's the coach of Steelers? Tom
Coughlin.
Who the heck are you talking about, man?
You're talking about the brother, right?
He's not Tom Coughlin.
Well, what is his name?
Well,
what is his name? I know it's the brother. What's his name? You kept saying it. Kind of making me. I'm like, why you keep saying that? All right, what? What's his name?
Mike Tomlin, man.
All right, Mike Tomlin. That's right.
What color is he?
He a brother.
Is he a what? Is he a head coach?
Man, he 1 out of 32.
Oh, gosh, man.
It's 32 teams in the league.
Listen. You know what killed me? I don't know how many more black coaches has to be in there to say
how many black head coaches in the league right now?
Bunch right now.
Out of 32 teams.
It's a bunch, kid.
You tripping.
All right, I'm not even going to do that.
One in Miami, one in New York, and one in Pittsburgh. Where the other brother
There's a whole bunch of them, man.
Where the other brother? Name his football team. Name the brother football team.
How many do you want? How many do you want to see in the
and the brother for the Raiders, and that was because Chucky got fired.
I can't do this with you.
He was an interim coach. And they don't even want him. He don't took the team to the playoffs. They want to bring in another coach. And I guarantee you, he won't look like the coach that they're getting ready to replace.
But you know what, though?
What?
Will Smith got his first Golden Globe Award. Yes, he did.
What's a Golden Globe Award? Yeah, what is that?
It's for the actors.
I know, but what is?
And he been working.
What does it represent?
What does it represent?
What does a global award represent?
A top achievement that you get for acting. Everybody doesn't get it. However, there are some that got it, like Forrest Whitaker. Even Chadwick Boseman got it. But Will Smith got it for doing the King Richard movie he did with Serena and Venus, playing at the dad for the. And it was like the first time he got it.
Right.
Out of all, he been nominated 5 times, but he finally got
What's
that Golden Globe.
What's the name of the guy that was the leading actor for Black Panther? What's his name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
He got it.
He got it. Yeah, he deserved it.
He got it. Rest
he
in
can
peace
act,
to him.
bro.
He got it.
He can act.
But what I'm saying is, many movies
as
many movies as Will Smith did. Can you believe that he never got a Golden Globe Award? Never. He finally got it.
I thought he should have got it for 7 Degrees of Separation.
Right. So it was nominated.
There's a lot of them.
Nominated.
iRobot.
Nominated.
But yeah, he just finally got one. Did he win it, or was he nominated? There's a difference.
He finally won it.
Oh, he won it.
He finally won his first Golden Globe Award.
Okay.
You know, so, and that's what I was like, I think that's pretty interesting that I never knew that he never won one.
We burnt through this show.
You know. Meanwhile, Ayesha Curry, right?
Okay, I was about to say something about chicks, too.
Ayesha Curry.
Who is she?
You know, that's Steph Curry's wife.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing where she's defending, saying that she's not in an open marriage, and people thought she was in an open marriage.
Get out them people business. Did Curry say that he was in an open marriage?
But do you think it's a problem with open marriage?
No, I don't think it's a problem with open marriages. When you both agree on it. Because some of these marriages is open and people think they closed.
Do you think there's rules in an open marriage though? Like, think about that. Like, what are the rules of an open marriage? Like,
an open marriage is very risky and it's very dangerous.
Okay. So what is the definition
because open marriage?
What would you say open marriage is to you? What's the definition of open marriage to you?
We both can pop whoever we please to pop.
That's open marriage.
That's open marriage.
So, do you think that's healthy?
No, I don't.
So, do you agree with open marriages?
To be honest with you, I don't. It's not for me because I think it's nasty.
But that was the question.
And I think it's dirty.
But that was the question. You know, do you believe in open marriages? Do you think open marriages are okay? I mean,
what I meant to say is I know they out there and I know they happening. But as for me, I don't agree with it because, like I said, I just think it's nasty. You know what? I don't even like porno women. I wouldn't have sex with a porno star.
All right, so if you don't, okay, so let's just say since you don't like open marriages, right?
Right.
Do you think there's rules that go along with it that these, like, if they engage in these open marriages, do you think they engage and have certain rules to say what you can and can't do?
Yeah, it got to be rules of engagement. It has to be rules of engagement. First, protect yourself. That's one. And if you do have unprotected sex, take your behind to the doctor first and see what's going on before you jump back in bed with me.
But I think open marriages, I think if you have an open marriage, I think it's like having two partners exclusively. I think you could have like
more than two.
No, I'm just saying with that set up
pop
open marriage.
Whoever you want to pop.
So that's your definition. But whenever you have an agreement, they say, you know what, this could be your girlfriend, or this could be your wife, and this could be your girlfriend, be your wife, and these are the only people. You think that's fair to say, you know what, it's just going to be you and her.
Well,
that's it.
No, that ain't no open marriage.
What do you call that?
That's an agreement.
So that's what I just said. So do you think there's any rules or agreements?
That's a contract. Yeah. I mean, open marriage. I mean, first of all, why even be married? Y'all shouldn't have got married in the first place if you want your marriage to be open. Your wife supposedly supposed to belong to you and only you. That's supposed to be your prize.
But there's different religions where you can have multiple wives. They did it.
I know about that. Don't bring that up.
Okay, so do you agree with that?
Don't slide that into the.
But do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? No, it's okay. All right.
Remember when we took that picture?
Yeah, right. I remember that picture.
I like that too.
So do you believe?
Woo!
So what about polygamy?
But that's not an open marriage because the wives are not allowed to have sex with anybody but you.
Okay, so I'm talking about.
You can have as many wives as you want. So what about polygamy? As long as you can take care of them.
What about polygamy?
Evenly, but they not allowed. Another man is not allowed to touch or lay eyes on them.
What about polygamy?
I don't know the meaning of the word, and I don't think I can spell it.
Okay. Begin with a P, I can tell you that.
PL? Is it PL? Come on.
So it's like you have a relationship and you have, multiple people. Like you can have multiple people. Like you can have a guy can have 3 or 4 girls in the house.
Right. Right.
And then you got swingers too. What do you think about the swinger lifestyle? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying because it's a reason why they feel like they's in an open marriage.
All of that's nasty. All of that is nasty. Because you put it this way, the transmission,
right?
Also the transfusion of bodily fluids,
right? That's
being transferred. Am I losing you?
You can't never lose me. You can't never lose me. I'm always here. I'm always 2 steps.
The transfusion, you know what I mean, and transmission of the bodily fluids that's being transferred around is nasty. I mean, it's real nasty, man. Everybody ain't clean out here.
So you're saying you got to check behind the person, but make sure the person is clean. So if you know the person is clean with the person that they're with, it's okay for them to be with that person.
Once upon a time, I was popping a lot of women.
There you go. Get a story.
It was at a point where I would pop one, then go pick up another one, bring her back, pop her, and then get her out my house, and another one probably might show up in an Uber or a Lyft. And I was having fun till I got a scare. You know what I mean? And I looked down at my boy, and he looked back at me, and I just said, whoa, something, and I thought it was something that I probably would have had to be with for the rest of my entire life. And, hopefully, it came down to the point I went to the doctor and everything was good, but it came from a lot of this, and it was an abrasion more than, I thought it was, whoa, but it was an abrasion because I was, so much, you know what I mean? And it scared me to the point where I stopped. And I just stuck to one because
so for you,
my life
so
wouldn't
for
have, it would have ruined my life. Put it that way.
It would have ruined your life.
It would have ruined my life. I wouldn't have been able to live with it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have been able to live with it because, I take a lot of pride in my health. And,
all right, so I got something interesting.
Right.
They're bringing Victoria's Secret back, because Victoria's Secret was, people wondering why it was so quiet for a while.
Right.
And it was quiet for a while. And the show was canceled.
Right.
Because the women were saying pretty much that.
When did Victoria's Secret ever leave?
You didn't realize you don't watch the show on TV no more?
I'm talking about the shop, the Victoria's Secret shop.
The store's there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the models left.
Oh, okay.
And they actually pretty much protested against Victoria's Secret.
The shops are still there though, right?
The store was there. But if you notice, if you go to some of these stores, you'll see the gates pulled down when you go to the malls.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know. A lot of these.
So they boycotting Victoria's Secret?
They did. A lot of your top models are boycotting.
Right.
Because they said it was like sexist. The environment was sexist.
Right.
So, and one of the top models that actually blew the whistle was Bella Hadid.
I know her.
Right. Yeah, I know that's your homie, right? Yeah. But no. But she was
hot.
She was the main one that blew the whistle on everything.
Right. Right.
And we know she did multiple things. So now they just signed her back in December.
Oh, okay.
And they said there's been a lot of changes.
She hot. But
they said there's been a lot of changes. But they said the whole culture was dealing with misogyny pretty much. It was pretty bad.
Was dealing with what?
Right, because Bella Hadid left because she got one guy said to her she has perfect breasts. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like
They natural.
They were saying they was groping the girls.
Right.
And all these type of things. This was
that
going on behind the scenes of Victoria's Secret.
I could see that happening.
And they spoke out about it, and they started writing, the letters. And so now what she's saying is now what they did out of 7 board members now, 6 of them are women. So there's a whole new look going to happen with Victoria's Secret right now, and they're starting to bring these top models back now. So
Victoria's Secret is the perfect giveaway. Giveaway too, man. Like if you having problems with your woman, and y'all got separate cars, and you just happen to go in the trunk and see that Victoria's Secret bag back there, and it ain't for you.
Listen, read that right there.
Your heart be pounding like a mug.
Read that out loud. We're not gonna be able to touch that segment. Read that out loud.
I don't got my glasses, bro.
All right, my bad. Well, listen. How to get your woman back after cheating, but we ain't got time for that segment. Listen, that's a hot segment. I know y'all love my segments. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to squeeze that one in. Woo! But it's a couple things. But yeah, so that I want to touch on the whole thing with Victoria's Secret. Like, do you think it's going to be a different look now? It's called the VS collection. They got more plus models involved. Do you think it's going to be a difference now? They're going to bring the show back. Do you think it's going to be a difference now? Meaning, like, do you think the women in charge of Victoria's Secret are going to make it a better product? Or
of course.
Of
course.
And
they're going to have their hands in on that. Yeah, of course.
And
I think that's going to happen.
For all you models that don't know, people in the industry, there's an organization called Respect, spelled just like that, Respect. And that's what it lets you, most companies have to follow these rules and guidelines, which Victoria's Secret had to go through a whole training to make the women feel comfortable about coming back.
Okay. So let's give them a trailer on that topic you just mentioned.
All right, well, speaking of trailers.
This boy got something for everything.
Your boy.
God dang.
Your boy Kanye West got a documentary coming out.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Okay.
In March.
Okay.
Oh, no, I think it's February. This one's February. It's about to drop.
Okay.
And it's called Genius. Like, he's a genius.
Right.
It's like Genius.
But it's called Genius.
Right.
Okay.
It's called,
He always trying to be like, laboratory type bull.
But the interesting thing about it, right? Well, actually, it's genius, like a genius. It's genius, but it's spelled Jeennys.
Right.
It goes already back to when he was recording in the beginning. They got old footage documentary that his video guys are putting out.
Right.
And it's pretty much saying how he is a genius and he in his own lane.
Oh, yeah. He going to make, and then look, he found out another way to make money and make all the parts work for him. They all moving parts. You ain't done yet. Go ahead, man. Hit the trailer.
The trailer.
Run that past him
Listen,
again.
man.
What is it called?
Genius.
I ain't talking about that.
Victoria's Secret?
No, man.
You talking about how to get
talking about the topic.
How to get them back?
Yeah.
Cheating?
How
to get your woman back if you get caught cheating?
Oh, if we get caught cheating.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
because you don't want her back if she get caught cheating.
I take turns. I give one for the men. I give one for the women. I switch it up on different shows.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not a lot of time.
Dang.
I know you guys love these topics. Listen, I appreciate love all you guys.
We starting off with that one next week.
This is episode 39. The plane is landing.
Oh, man.
The plane is definitely going to land.
Oh, man.
Episode 39 on Glockaware.
I'm about to ask 2K for 5 more minutes.
Billionaire Radio. We got Outfit For You. Family of Brands. OutfitForYou.com. Michael Ed Outfit For You. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Share.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yo, man.
Billions.
Billions.